We are celebrating another great day of UTSA athletics, and we just thank you so much for joining us this morning to celebrate the official grand opening ceremony for the Park West Fieldhouse. At UTSA Athletics, our vision is to develop champions in the classroom, in competition, and in life, while serving as an integral part of the undergraduate experience. This facility matches that vision and purpose very well, improving our efforts in providing a championship experience while also helping attract and retain the finest coaches, staff, and student athletes. It will also allow a greater partnership with the community, particularly as it relates to youth. And if you all did not feel the excitement as you walked through the parking lot into the facility, did you notice all the youth out there utilizing this facility already? Today, you'll have the opportunity to hear from a cast of very important leaders who helped make this facility a reality. And so before we proceed, I do want to take a minute to thank all of our wonderful supporters who have given their time, their energy, and talents to this project. Together, we look forward to continuing to invest in both our student athletes and our entire community. First, many, many thanks to Jean Dawson. Jean, your leadership on the foundation board is just unparalleled. You're a force. We so much appreciate you and thank you for helping get us to the finish line. To our generous donors, particularly Kelly and Brian Tramontano, to Suzanne and Jim Clements, Tamika and Luba Nunez, the Myra Stafford Pryor Charitable Trust, Karen and Don Wagner, and Antoinette and Jeff McKittrick. Thank you all for your generosity for investing in our student athletes. The Commissioner of the American Athletic Conference, Mike Orozco, who we are so honored to have here with us today, we thank you so much for your support, for taking time today and really for the next couple of days to get to know San Antonio and for being here. Thank you for all you do and for the continued and future partnership. To the UTSA administration, particularly Dr. Amy and Veronica Salazar, I know I saw Veronica here, thank you for being immensely supportive and instrumental in elevating UTSA athletics. We could not do it without you. Thank you. And last but not least, a very, very special thank you to the Bexar County leadership for believing in the vision of this facility. Judge Sakai and Commissioner Moody, thank you for being here. We're so grateful for all that you've done for Bexar County, for our student athletes, and for the youth here in San Antonio. This is a really important partnership, and we are very committed to bringing youth and utilizing this very beautiful facility. Thank you to our coaches, and particularly our student athletes, many who are with us here today. This will kick off your new season in a top-tier facility that matches the level of play and commitment and excellence of how you represent UTSA and all of San Antonio. So coaches, student athletes, if you could just wave and be recognized, because this is all for you. And truly, we are here because of our student athletes, because of the youth. We look so forward to what you're all going to accomplish this season as we transition to the American. We believe in you. We know you're going to always represent us so well. And we have already been selected by the American to host the track and field outdoor championship here in this beautiful facility. So to now pass the baton to our president, UTSA President Dr. Taylor Amy.
Do I have to turn around backwards? Yeah, I guess I have to. Josh, get ready. As you all know, I tend to wing it, and I'm going to do some of that right now because it's my privilege as your president to be able to do so, and I relish that. So I want to do something again that Lisa just did. If you are a student athlete or a coach in UTSA athletics, please raise your hand so we can give you a huge shout out. This is for you. You know, I recall like 4 years ago meeting with some of the student athletes, and one of the things where I came over, it was even pre-Roadrunner Athletic Center of Excellence. It was in that musty dungeon of a place that we used to be in, and sitting and chatting and talking about our desire to have this facility come online after we finished race. And I think the women's soccer team kind of looked at me skeptically and said, "Okay, buddy, deliver." Well, better late than never, and so it warms my heart that we have the opportunity to celebrate today. Part of what I really want to share with you is this, and this is really important to understand, and I share it with my community, but I haven't had a chance to share this story with you all, but it frames everything about what we're trying to do. In the 88th legislative session, I spent a ton of time up in Austin starting in January, actually before January, meeting with electeds and their staff about all things related to legislative support for higher education in Texas, for emerging research universities, for our university. I spent a ton of time in Austin with my good colleagues working that, lobbying, advocating, bringing great passion to the narrative. And you know, we had millions of conversations, and sure, everybody loved how we're educating our community, how we make a difference in our community, how we are a Carnegie R1 institution. But to a person, I can't tell you how many times I spoke about UTSA athletics. Everybody wanted to talk about UTSA athletics. Everybody, staff, electeds, staff and members, the executive branch, everybody wanted to talk about athletics. And it's not just our elected officials in Austin. I go to DC and visit our members of Congress, same thing. They want to talk about Jeff Traylor. They want to talk about Karen Aston. They want to talk about baseball, and look how wonderful baseball was this year, and look at how we won the conference championship in women's soccer. And then I go to boardrooms and I meet with very senior folks in major corporations. Same thing. Everywhere I go, I need to and want to and love talking about athletics because it is the front porch to our university. It's the front porch if you're an alum. It's a front porch if you live in San Antonio and you've adopted us. It's a front porch if you're a business leader, if you're an elected official, if you're the governor, the lieutenant governor, the speaker. Everybody wants to feel the joy that we have and share the passion that we have about athletics. And so it's very, very special indeed that we are going to be moving from Conference USA, we've actually moved, to the American. Commissioner, thank you so much for being here. The commissioner, my good friend Mike, is going to be sharing a little bit about why San Antonio and UTSA was such a compelling argument for membership in the American. And it comes down to this: we are a city that appreciates deeply sports. We are the collegiate version of the Spurs. We may have a little bit of work to do in that space. We are inviting Wendy to do a coin toss, by the way. But yeah, just give us a chance to deliver on that. That'll be epic. I'll look up that. But the fact of the matter is, athletics is an incredible front porch for us, and our joining the American is going to further increase our national exposure on all of our sports through the vehicles of impact that the American brings to bear for us. So the fact that we have a city that loves sports, the fact that we have all the momentum that we have in place right now, we've grown our athletic budget tremendously over the last 5 years. We have more work to do in that space. We've grown the number of facilities. Obviously, we have race, we have our practice facility at TPC, which is world class. Now we have this facility. Next up will be our practice facility for basketball and volleyball. We're making a lot of progress in this space and hope to be able to bring something forward sometime next year about beginning construction there. And so this is all part of our momentum. We've been hiring coaches, we've been developing talent in athletics. It's all part of our systematic, very, very intentional focus on growing our athletics program because it's such an important front door for us. We have work to do. It's not going to happen overnight. We have momentum to continue to grow, but we're going to be resolute in our focus on doing this because it's such an important aspect for our institution, for our city, our community, for our alumni, for our national prominence. We want to be equally known as an amazing research university and an amazing educational institution and an amazing top-tier athletic enterprise here at UTSA. So with that, I just want to make sure you all know how important this is for us, okay? It's very, very important. It'll take time. We'll be resolute about it. Have patience with us and just help us see this through. You know, this event today has been planned for a while, and I'm grateful to all the work that people put into this, all the teams that worked on it. We would not be sitting in this facility if it weren't for the Roadrunner Foundation and for Gene's work. So Gene is a friend, a colleague, a mentor, and he does amazing things with us about being very creative about how we bring to bear all our efforts around creating facilities that are commensurate with our being in a P6 program, a P6 conference. And I know Mike maybe doesn't want to use that term anymore, but I think he's going to get a chance to see our Roadrunner Athletics Center of Excellence a little bit later today, and I think he will agree that it is commensurate with a P5 program. And so we're making progress. We are making progress. And so we wouldn't be here today also if it wasn't for Lisa's leadership and seeing this through, and for Veronica's immense support and talent and counsel and figuring out how to do this project with us, and for Karina Green and her efforts. I'm very fortunate to have the best team in the world as we navigate everything that we do at the university. And I'm very, 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 very grateful to our partners, Bexar County and the City of San Antonio, their investments in our athletic facilities and things that we're doing downtown, and the things that we do in partnership with our enterprises in support of foster youth. I mean, we just have so many things in play with our county and city partners. It's just a very, very special relationship. I know that there are many, many presidents around the world who are very envious of the relationship that I have with Judge Sakai or Mayor Nurnberg. We are very, very fortunate that these entities, these civic governments, believe deeply in who we are as an institution. And you're going to hear Judge Sakai talk about the fact that if it's good for UTSA athletics, it's good for UTSA. And if it's good for UTSA, it's good for San Antonio and Bexar County. And that is absolutely true. Where we go is where the city goes and where our community goes. We're deeply connected that way. And so the fact that the county has made an $8 million investment in this facility is profound. We're very fortunate to have engaged commissioners. Commissioner Moody is deeply engaged in what we're doing and loves all things related to UTSA and UTSA athletics. He's a former lineman for Navy, as you may know. And did I get that right, Grant? I did. And it's wonderful when we have advocates like that in city government and county government that support who we are and where we're going. And so, if you don't get any other message from me today, we are grateful to the American that they believed in us and wanted to invest in our joining their conference to contribute. You'll hear from the commissioner that he loves San Antonio. He's been here many times before, and he understands the value proposition of what we bring to the American and all of this momentum we're talking about. He might even confess to the fact that he's wondering why they didn't ask us to join the American earlier. Right, Mike? Right? And you're also going to hear from Judge Sakai and from Commissioner Moody about their belief in us as well. So I'm very lucky to have such wonderful colleagues and partners in this enterprise, and I'm grateful to all of you for being here. But I want to take you back now to where I started. And if you're a student athlete or a coach, raise your hand again, and we just want to give you a shout out. So this is for you. Come on up, let's see if we get this. Wait, I'm supposed to run.
Thank you, Dr. Amy. I got real nervous about that baton. I said, if I drop it, we're out. We're done. Well, I'm Judge Peter Sakai. I'm going to ask a few words, and like Dr. Amy says, I usually like to go off script, so my team is here, and they're going, what? You're going off script again? Yes, I am. So, first and foremost, let me just say thank you. I am proud and honored to be here and be part, most important, be part of the team. And so Dr. Amy and the faculty and coaching staff, students, the foundation, and all the people that support UTSA athletics, thank you very much. But I also want to give a special shout out to your president, and really more importantly, to the president's first lady, Taylor and Amy. One of the first stops, so to speak, in coming to Bexar County was to come see me as the judge of the children's court. And Peggy's been very involved in child welfare and child advocacy. And she came in and said, what can we do for the children, especially the foster children? And so we kind of said, all right, we'll figure out what we can do. And now, as a result of the teamwork between Bexar County and UTSA and all the other major college higher ed institutions, we have the most premier, nationally recognized program for foster kids. And one of the challenges I gave UTSA and the staff here was to say, I want you to treat these foster kids as if they're blue chip athletes or top scholars. And I'm proud to say, Dr. Amy, you've done that, and we're a very successful program. We've been recognized by the state legislature. The result, you got your money. And well, let me just kind of give you a little history on me. Sports has been a key part of my life since I was a youngster growing in the Valley, and that meant I played high school football. So Commissioner Moody, I was also the O-line, and all I can tell you is the O-line makes the team go, right? And the quarterbacks and ends can get all the glory, but it's O-line that makes things happen. And so this new Fieldhouse will help other budding athletics realize their athletic dreams. Bexar County has made an $8 million investment in this building and will support more than just the track and soccer teams. It is another example of how UTSA is opening up its campus to younger athletes, especially the athletes of our community. Developing a pipeline of talent will serve the entire community. It will also sustain what you're building here and continue to grow your collegiate program and transition to the American Athletic Conference. Who knows, the next All-American athlete might be nurtured right here after he or she gets exposed to your facilities, just as their talents are being realized. What's good for UTSA is good for Bexar County. That's apparent from the unprecedented progress you've made in recent years, from the classrooms, the academics, to the football field, and all other sports here at UTSA, and also as we're seeing with the San Pedro building with cybersecurity, the research labs, and the commitment we have to higher ed. The county has partnered with the university in a number of ways, benefiting all of us. The building is just the latest example of how terrific collaboration will only grow as up in the upcoming years. As the old wise singer James Taylor said, Failing to plan is planning to fail. That has certainly not been the case with UTSA, where planning is ingrained in this university's DNA. I want to give extra praise to Dr. Amy and his exceptional leadership and vision that extends across the campus all the way to you and your expanding downtown campus. Another great champion of all things, Roadrunner Athletics, is Lisa Campos. Thank you, Dr. Campos. Lisa is one of the top athletic directors in the state. In 6 years, she has grown the sports organization here to unmatchable state. I'm a Japanese nerd. There's a word in Japan that's called kaizen, which means constant and never-ending improvement. That applies here to this wonderful institution. You work every day to make things better and to improve, never satisfied with the status quo. So thanks for everything you do to educate our community, training young minds, and certainly the athletics that are very important to train these young bodies to higher levels. At this time, Commissioner, I'd like to pass the baton to you. I just want to let you know, I was on injured reserve for about 2 months, so they've asked me to kick a soccer ball. I'm going to be a little light on that one, but I'm going to pass the baton to Commissioner Moody.
Well, thank you, Judge Sakai. I didn't realize my past athletic career was going to come to fruition here. I had no idea. We have a good working relationship at the county, but I did not know you played offensive line. So we'll have to take that offline and talk more about the fight in the trenches later. But good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here and to be part of this grand opening of such an amazing athletic facility here at UTSA. As Judge Sakai mentioned, it's no secret that UTSA is on a rapid trajectory towards becoming a model of excellence in academics and athletics. UTSA is a prosperity engine for our region, for our county, for our community, and supporting higher education helps to secure a brighter future for the next generation of San Antonians to come. That said, investing in UTSA athletics means investing in students and ultimately investing in our community. But this is a partnership, and Bexar County is proud to be a part of that partnership with UTSA, and it continues. Beyond these facilities, we're actually in talks today in how we can partner on transportation grants to improve access to the main campus here at UTSA. But on behalf of Bexar County Commissioners Court, it is an honor to partner with UTSA and continue to serve our community with these accessible, state-of-the-art facilities that our county residents deserve. And with that, I will pass it back over to President Amy.
You know, I forgot to mention this in my earlier comments. The legislative session, the 88th legislative session, there were a lot of resources to be distributed, and UTSA's total allocation of dollars was $58 million more for the coming biennium than the last biennium, and that is a significant increase. And I would hazard, and the color of money is important here, not all of that goes to athletics, obviously, but it's spread across the enterprise for various purposes. But I would have to say, proudly say, that our discussing athletics, our talking about our momentum in athletics had a very direct impact on how we did in the legislative session. Just think about that, okay? So Lisa, come on up. So, you're gonna stay there and let me speak? Okay, good.
Whatever you say, boss.
At some point soon, a bronze plaque will go on the outside of the building that is reflective of the contribution from the county. And it's very important that we celebrate our partnership with the county and the financing of this facility and its important role as a public use facility. There must be 300 little kiddos running around outside right now over on track and field and soccer who are making use of it because of its public use nature. And so because that plaque is not yet ready and will go up on the building at a future point, we are going to commemorate this moment by giving a replica of the plaque to Judge Sakai and Commissioner Moody. Would you join us? And Gene, come on up too, because we want to take a picture about this. We would like to give you this as a rendition of what's going to go up on the wall of the building. And so, folks, let's give a round of applause.
Can we do birds up?
Yeah, of course.
There you go. Three, one.
We're waiting for you to ask them.
Good.
Very good. Thank you, everybody. So I said earlier that Gene is integral to all of this, and I am serious when I say that he's a dear friend, a colleague, a mentor, a person who provides wise counsel, who works tirelessly for us all the time, 24/7, on things related to how we make good use of the Roadrunner Foundation to advance enterprises like this facility. And so I'd like to have Gene come on up and share some thoughts with us. Gene?
Well, first of all, I want to compliment whoever came up with the baton idea, because normally when I'm around a politician or Dr. Amy, they have their hand out for money. So once again, this facility is a Roadrunner Foundation project. And we led the design, the construction, and in fact, the Bear County grant was actually to the Roadrunner Foundation. And as a reminder, the university cannot spend money on athletics. It cannot use UT system money and it can't use state money. So our support from the county and donors and the city is critical to advancing athletics here at UTSA. Unlike the race facility, which most of you are familiar with, the foundation will not continue to own this facility. Once it is finished, and it is finished, we are gifting it back to the university for $1. So, Dr. Amy, you owe me $1. In fact, you'll have to ask Veronica Salazar for the $1. So, and by the way, you will know that Dr. Campos and Dr. Amy have all, and I have all mentioned Veronica Salazar in our comments, and it's because we're all afraid of her, and she controls all the money, and so she's very important. I also have the privilege today, there's a lot of people always involved in a project like this, but we need to recognize those individuals. For over really 3 years we've been trying to bring this vision to a reality. And first I'd like to recognize 2 foundation board members that are here, and Brian Tramontano and Cindy Jorgensen. Raise your hand. Thank you. And of course we have the construction and design team, and I first want to recognize Mo Zamani with Project Control. He's been with us now as kind of the voice of the foundation back into the construction. Sherry Primotera from Populous is here. Populous is a premier sports architect in the country who's led both our race and Park West design. Our local architects at Barman Bach of Greg Houston and Kevin McClellan really are on the ground making it happen, guys. Philip Preston and Todd Sparrow of Alderson MEP, and then of course Justin Edge of IES Structural Engineering. That's a lot of paperwork, but the real nuts and bolts always goes to Joris Construction. They're a major team player for us, and Gary Joris is here, Kenny Fuller. Chris Carso with Joris, I call him Mr. Deeds, because you go anywhere in town and he just pops up and he's always there. But of course, we also had help from Joris, Walt Robinson, and Jerry Mendoza, who's our superintendent, who I believe is the best superintendent at Joris and in San Antonio, just a very unique individual. And I'm sure I may have forgotten some other individuals that were involved in the project. Eddie Mata, who's our actual project manager from Joris. I throw his name out in case something falls off the walls. It's his fault. I do want to take a privilege of recognizing an actual UTSA athletics department employee, someone that's embedded in the university who, you can really give all the credit to what this looks like. And, Patrick Grant, who's got to be here. Where's Patrick? Or he's out there. He is. Be in the back or mowing the grass or something, but really, he's put his heart and soul into this, and we really appreciate it. The team I just mentioned is a committed team because we built this facility. It was built on time. It was built within budget with contingency remaining, which is kind of unheard of right now in construction with hyperinflation and supply chain nonsense. So there is a lot of unseen donation to the completion of this building, and so I particularly want to, that falls on Joris more than anybody else, so I particularly want to thank you guys. We appreciate it. One of my favorite words in any talk is let me conclude, and let me conclude again by thanking the county. This room here is a community room. It's part of the grant that we got from the county. This is a Bexar County citizens room that can be used by individuals in Bexar County. So it's very important that we have the relationship. And I think I want to also kind of show you a theme of what this is about. I mentioned, Bengals Engineers, who I'm with, of course, established in Bexar County in 1965, Joris in Bexar County in 1967, Marvin Mock in Bexar County in 1951, Project Control established in Bexar County in 1977, Alderson in 1985, and IES, our structural engineer, in 1999. This is a Bexar County team that built this facility. And why is that important? Your investment not only creates a state-of-the-art facility for UTSA, but it impacts all Bexar County residents. We all know, and the reason I'm here, I didn't go to UTSA, but the reason I'm here is we all know that UTSA is the most important economic driver in San Antonio and Bexar County. And we will not be successful unless UTSA is successful. So we, as a community, as student athletes, as alumni, we need to pull together and continue to support UTSA. And with that team, we get a 3x multiplier on any investment, on anything we do in San Antonio. So the county's $8 million investment into this facility really generated a $24 million economic impact to the community as the dollars circulate through the construction teams and into the employees, and we just keep everything here and creating a stronger and stronger community. So I bring all that up because we sincerely want to thank the county for the $8 million grant, but more importantly, in advance, we want to thank you for the $15 million you're going to give us. We're sure for the basketball and volleyball facilities. project. So it's now my privilege to hand the baton off to the commissioner, and so Mike will come up and take over.
Thank you, everyone, and I'm glad they didn't drop the baton. I'm worried about that. Also, it's good to see these offensive linemen here. I played quarterback in high school, so I think I know how valuable you are. But thanks again for the warm welcome I've received yesterday, today. I'm extremely pleased, honored, proud to be here this morning to celebrate what is really a transformational moment and a period in the history of this outstanding university. UTSA has already established itself, and the future is extraordinarily bright. As other speakers have done this morning, I want to thank all the distinguished guests and congratulate you on this momentous day. The Park West Fieldhouse is obviously a resounding success on a number of fronts. It provides a state-of-the-art home for UTSA's excellent track and field and women's soccer teams. It deepens what is already a strong connection between San Antonio and Bexar County. The collaboration and alignment in this project is going to benefit everyone, and thousands of UTSA student athletes, but also younger athletes who will have access to this facility, which is really important, and visitors from across the state of Texas and beyond will train and compete here. So congratulations to everyone here for getting this facility over the proverbial finish line. I particularly want to recognize Taylor, Amy, and Lisa Campos. Their leadership and partnership has been really, really extraordinary. And if it weren't for them, UTSA might well not be in the American Athletic Conference. Now you have so many things going for you, and we were so pleased to see all the great things you're doing. But they have really shown tremendous leadership. And as we formally welcome UTSA into the conference, we realize that without the commitment, you don't have anything. You can have everything else, but if you don't have the commitment to invest and to do what you need to do for student athletes, you're not going to succeed. The entry of UTSA into the conference was a milestone. One of 6 outstanding universities that we've added to our conference. I think it was the first time in any of the recent expansions any league added this many schools. On the other hand, it also marked our 10th anniversary and allowed us to celebrate the remarkable achievements of our first decade, which you're going to be part of. It's your legacy now. We've had 8 New Year's 6 bowl appearances. We've won 4 of those games, probably should have won 6 of them. We had multiple NCAA team and individual championships, 6 men's and women's Final Four appearances, a College World Series appearances, and a number, this is very important, a number of academic milestones, including a Rhodes Scholar. And we also are extremely proud to have the United States Naval Academy in our conference. I mean, the best of the best, and we've got great students throughout our schools, and obviously, the Naval Academy is special, and we appreciate what they've done for our country and the service to our country. Admiral Buck has just transitioned out as a superintendent of the academy, and we thanked him in our annual meeting for all that they've done for our country and all he's done in his 44 years of service. Any conference commissioner will tell you that expansion sometimes isn't the most enjoyable part of the job, obviously, because it does shift focus away from what's happening on the field and on the court and the achievements of our outstanding student athletes, but it's also allowed us to build new relationships, and that's important. With an outstanding institution like UTSA and others that we're bringing in, and also with the administrators, the staff, the coaches, and most important, of course, the student athletes. It takes me back 10 years. East Carolina joined the American back then, and East Carolina's an excellent school, has done a great job. And I had a series of events similar to what I'm doing here in San Antonio. We had a celebration very similar. And part of that visit included a tour of the athletic facilities. I was able to meet a remarkable young man named Shane Carden. Some of you may remember, he was a great quarterback at East Carolina. And he showed me the facilities. He's now a high school coach in Idaho. And I was there, and I was actually able to connect with him and share some fond memories of an exciting time. And that's going to be the case here. I'll meet some of your student athletes and eventually many more of them. But I share that anecdote only to say that we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that what's truly important is our student athletes, and we can easily lose sight of that sometimes with the intense competition that we all deal with every day. And I know being in that CFP room and all the other things that are going on, you can't lose sight of that. And we're proud of what our schools achieve and what our student athletes achieve under our banner. And we're growing our conference, and obviously UTSA, along with the conference, will grow. And we've invited institutions like UTSA because they fit our profile. But we have to remember that the greatest win any student athlete will have, and we hope they appreciate this, and I think they do, is getting that college degree. That's the biggest win they'll ever have. The wins on the field are wonderful, but that's the most important. The profile of our conference is a little more complex than those of other conferences. We have large state universities. We have smaller private schools. We, again, as I mentioned, we have the military academy, obviously, Naval Academy. We have AAU members. We have Carnegie R1 institutions, UTSA, congratulations. We have others that are aspiring to those levels. And we have schools in Pennsylvania, Florida, and Texas, and several states. And Texas is a really important state for us for all sorts of reasons. But all of our schools, all 15 of our schools, Wichita plays basketball and Olympic sports in our conference, Navy plays football, the others play all sports. They all aspire to compete at the highest level. And we've done that. And that's what UTSA has been doing, and now we'll have an opportunity to get even more exposure on a larger stage. When we were exploring expansion, we were fortunate to hear from a lot of leaders at a lot of institutions who expressed interest in joining. But few were able to sustain and support the kind of growth and investment that matches our profile. UTSA can do that, and it's clear today is evidence of that, and I think this whole few days that I'll be here is evidence of that. And I congratulate all of you for the support, Gene, and everything you've done, Judge. It's really terrific, and we think it's just so important to have that commitment. I mentioned it, and that's the key to everything. We see a tangible example of the profile. We see an institution here that's opening a magnificent new facility to support track and field and women's soccer teams. We see the alignment on all fronts between the Department of Athletics, the university, the city of San Antonio, and Bexar County. We see this in conjunction with other advancements that UTSA has made in recent years. You are San Antonio's hometown team, and it was pointed out earlier how much athletics means to San Antonio. I love San Antonio. My wife and I have been here many times. We've done, we had a joke. I was at CBS Sports for 16 years, and we always said, the three places that they ought to have the Final Four are San Antonio, New Orleans, and Indianapolis. There's no reason to go anyplace else. And I think, I really think that, it reflects a city that is on the move, a city that's growing, a city that's dynamic, and that reflects the university. The university is poised for even more growth and more success. I'm just so proud to be associated with all of you. And you have so many things, as I said, going for you, and the region, the military community in the region. Again, we want to thank all of you for your service to our country. I'll close by just saying that, again, UTSA is a perfect fit for the American Athletic Conference. The American Athletic Conference began 10 years ago, and there was some skepticism as to how successful we would be. And there's no question that we've achieved great things, but UTSA will add to that legacy, and in a big way. I'm absolutely convinced. And when you do, and when you have exposure on ABC and ESPN and ESPN2 and all the other platforms that you're going to enjoy, this university will have a national brand that again, many other schools would envy. So I think you're going to have a great time. You'll enjoy the people in the American. We're going to enjoy you. We're going to have a great time. As I said, Taylor and Lisa, it's been great to have you with us and do the things you've done. Again, I want to close by just saying that, I myself can't wait till the Roadrunners start competing, next month. I'll be here again. I'll be here at a football game. I'll be here at other events. I thank you for having me, and I thank you again for such a warm welcome. I really much appreciated. Best wishes for a very successful year, and again, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And now I get to pass the baton to Avery. And I knew Avery wouldn't drop it, that's for sure.
I'm not a track athlete, so maybe I would. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Avery Cheney, and I am a senior midfielder on the soccer team here at UTSA. And standing before you today under the shadow of this new facility, I am filled with immense gratitude and pride. I am both humbled and excited as a native of this vibrant city to be a part of this significant milestone. First, I want to extend my profound thanks to our local elected officials, whose commitment to improving our community is truly reflected in the investment made into this magnificent structure. To our generous donors, thank you. You saw the potential in our dreams and fueled our journey with their unwavering support. We finally have a place to call home. With the help of a proper locker room and a training room only 30 feet away from our fields, getting 1% better every day just became that much easier for athletes and staff. So again, thank you. In this endeavor, the guidance of our athletic director, Dr. Campos, and the relentless dedication of our head coach, Derek Pittman, has been absolutely pivotal. The belief you both have shown in the capacity of this program has been nothing short of inspiring. The state-of-the-art facility is not just an investment in UTSA and our track and soccer program, but a declaration of faith in our city's future. As it stands here, may it serve as a beacon of growth, igniting the potential within each athlete that steps into this facility. Here's to many victories, lessons, and inspiring moments that will unfold within these walls. I know I speak on behalf of my entire team back there when I say thank you to everyone here that has made this facility reality. Birds up.
Thank you, Avery. It's very nice words, and we cannot wait for a repeat and going into the American with our soccer program. So a huge good luck to you all and all your training in this remarkable facility. If Jane, Judge Sakai, Commissioner Moody, if you all could please join me here at the podium. And if our student athletes, I think over here, are going to help. So again, just on behalf of UTSA Athletics, the soccer program, the track and field program, thank you all so much for making this a reality for our student athletes, for getting us across the finish line, for all of your continued support. We so much appreciate you in this partnership. And here's a small gift of our appreciation for you. And I think we're also going to take a picture. Oh, and Commissioner Sbrusco. Come on up, yes. So that concludes our program this morning.